to another Feed the Beast tutorial. This one is going to be on how to automate Pneumaticrafts. Now there's a couple of ways out there that use Steve's Factory Manager. The builds I'm drawing inspiration from are from Direwolf20 and Landstryder, so I'll try to remember to link those videos in the description. But basically what you want to do is start your cable. I like to just have my Factory Manager on the top, just to make it easier to see. That's just me preference wise. You're going to need a chest, you're going to need another, you could really get away with one chest and just have the bone meal in here, but for our purposes we're going to assume you have a sifting setup where that sifting output is going to a barrel of bone meal. So this tutorial will show you how to manage that. Now if we come over here to look at our setup, we're going to need a couple blocks. We're going to need a block gate, we're going to need a redstone emitter, and a dispenser, piece of dirt, and our seed, and obviously bone meal. So what we're going to do is take our block gate, put him right here facing this way, dirt right here. Now this dirt will sometimes be replaced by maybe like netherrack for the fire flowers. Same build process applies. What you can do if you don't want like the flying flowers to, you know, go all over the place, you can kind of put this into the ground a little bit. So imagine like, let's see, imagine like this was the ground. So you could still see it in, and obviously, you know, you'd probably use like clear glass or something that doesn't have the glass texture. Just, you know, stuff like that. So we have that taken care of. That little idea is just a little build tip. And then what we need is our emitter. If I can spell right. Redstone emitter. Get rid of the glass for now. Don't really need that. And then we're going to need our dispenser to go here. Connect it with inventory cable. And now you don't want to have, you could have these connected if they're different seeds. However, since I like to do things like just 3x3 areas, we're gonna go over here. We're not gonna program this one because it's gonna just be the same exact process, but with different seeds. It'll be easy enough for you guys to figure it out. That's one thing with my tutorials. I don't necessarily like to go too in-depth. I like to show you guys the basics, give you the tools that you need to do to make more advanced builds. If there's more advanced things you want me to go over, we can do those in other tutorials, but I think for these purposes, simpler is pretty good. So then what we need to do is we'll just get ourselves some bone meal and get rid of the barrel. We're not using that with a tutorial anymore. And so this is basically our setup. So if we come over here to just kind of take a look at what we're going to do, we're going to have a trigger with a conditional that's going to check the chest to see if we have any slime plant seeds. And I want to use 64 as mine, so let's get some slime plant seeds, replace the dirt, get some more bone meal. And then we will double right click on that just to fill it up. So we're going to have our trigger. We are going to really quick just kind of speed this guy along. So if you can aim, this won't be an issue with the plant themselves, but let's just get a little bit more bone. We create an output to the dispenser, doesn't matter what side, and we can leave it as a blacklist because we whitelisted our bone meal in the line above it. And then what we also want to do is to create a redstone emitter, because to fire a dispenser needs to have a redstone signal. So since there's nothing else around that particular emitter, we can do emitter. We can emit weak power on all sides, fixed. I don't remember if I need it to pulse or not. let's check. Emitter, do emit pulse. So quick pulse, which yes, you do need to do now that I think about. Test it, and I might be wrong about that, but we want to just emit a pulse. We don't want to emit a continuous signal. So right there, that little line of code, let's just grab it. This will be we'll call it grow, because what this will do is it will apply bone meal just like a player is. So we can get a bone meal and we can grow it, and now this is the data value of 11. This does not drop 2, so we don't have it programmed, but the block gate won't do anything when we do get it programmed. So our next step is going to be what happens if we have slime plant seeds. So what we want to do is get our input from the block gate. We want to output it to the chest. We want to input one from the chest and output it to the block gate. And now what we mean by that is, let us create an input. So remember, this is checking to see if the block gate will drop 2 slime plant seeds. This input will be the block gate's inventory. Up is okay. Make sure I activate it. And we need to whitelist, I think. Let me just double check that part. Input items, we can blacklist. Okay, yeah, right. So this is just if there's going to be 2 items dropped, it doesn't matter what type of seed it is. I remember I made that one universal. So that's that. Right. Sorry, I'm a little bit spacey right now, you guys. So we want to, what do we say, blacklist this because we don't care what item it pulls out. We want to output the item back into the chest. So this is just me being nitpicky about my lines being perfectly straight. Inventory is going to be the chest because this is going to be our output. Up is okay. Items we can blacklist because we don't care. Right? Let me just double check that really quick. Yep, blacklist. And then what we want to do is take an input from that chest, because what we are doing here is we're clearing the block gate's inventory, and then since it's all going to the chest, we will take the chest inventory, or wherever you have your seeds winding up. If you have the seeds winding up in a specific barrel, you don't want to do that because you will get 2 different metadata values. We want to whitelist a slime plant seed. There we go. We want to specify amount 1, and we also want to use fuzzy detection. And then we are going to output our item to our block gate. Let me get this up a little bit so we can see what's going on. Up is okay. We don't need to blacklist it because we did it with the input. This one we do care about what goes where, but we've already taken care of it. So if we connect the trigger up here, you'll see here 13. And this is one quick problem you have to take care of. I'm going to switch the interval. You can get away with 2 seconds, but I like to do it as 3. So it'll only check every 3 seconds. And that's not really working out right. Let me disconnect the trigger. Let's come over here and see what happened to it. So input, inventory. This one does work. I'll just show you by pulling out those. And this one has my 3-second trigger. You'll see there. So let's take a look at this programming and see what I did wrong. Condition. Chest, DAP, slime plant seeds, 64 fuzzy detection. If it doesn't have that, it'll go to this condition, which will look at the block gate. Ooh, sided. I forgot about that. Do we need to do it sided? Let's see. Condition, block gate, target, east. Why am I targeting east? That makes no sense. So sided doesn't matter. Item, we're going to look for slime plant seeds, if any, 2. If there are 2, what we'll do is get the block gate. North side. Let me see if this affects it. Nope. So we have our input going to the being the block gate, not caring what comes out. Inventory we're going to target as the chest, and we don't care what comes out. Inventory then is going to be the chest, up, slime plant seeds, fuzzy detection 1. Is that what I did wrong? No, I did fuzzy detection right. Output is going to be the block gate, so it really looks like it's coming down to what I did wrong with the output. But then you'll see here, if I put this in right here, it stops running the bone meal. So this is a fully working system. So the output, blacklist, up, block gate. Alright, and then for the bone meal, our inventory gets from the barrel, up, bone meal 1, output inventory, so that should work. Why is this not working? Slime plant seeds should be okay. Let's take a look. Don't care what's in there. Oh, I know why. So the code is perfectly good for this. Maybe. Let's see. This was working literally just a second ago. Okay. 6. Okay, so it looks like it's working, you just have to prime it with a seed first, which makes sense. So let's grab some more slime plant seeds. So yeah, forget like pretty much everything I just said there. It works just fine. You just have to have that slime plant seed there to begin with. So you'll see there it hits 13, which is its metadata to break, and then the block gate spits out that other seed. And then you'll see here that you have items that have different metadata because they're handled differently. So that's why you don't really want to do one specific one. When you work on auto crafting, you can somewhat get away with it. But the problem then runs into if you use up all the ones with metadata 19 and it reads that it has 64 with the metadata of 3, it won't work. So that's why I like to use fuzzy with the plant seeds. And for it, it would be just the same process of doing another seed over here with a separate trigger. And the way I'm going to take care of this with my Let's Play when I make this build is going to be to label them. So this node, this set will be slime plant. Slime plant seeds. Just something I like to do. Shift grab. Nope, not yet. Yep, there we go. So shift grab when it's open. You'll put everything in here. Go to here. If you're like me and you got OCD about the lines, there you go. So this group will handle slime plant seeds. You can do another group for, say, like creeper plant seeds. I'm still getting used to my new settings, so creeper. And then, like we saw earlier, the nice thing about it is, so right now we have 64. If we pull one of these out, it'll grow it until we get another one, and it will still plant another one. So even with the dispenser not running, this code will always check to see if you have one grow naturally in the world, which is nice because that way you can start to get more than just what's in here. So it's a passive and an active way to do it, which is very, very versatile. And it doesn't take up, you can do it a lot closer than I'm going to do it, but I like to kind of do it in 3x3 or 5x5 odd number builds. We'll see if I do that in my Let's Play or not. They will be lowered into the ground. So for those of you who haven't checked out my Let's Play, it's on my channel too. The second and third episode have a little bit of volume issues. So I apologize about that, and I'm really busy with school right now, so I don't know if I'm going to get another episode out for a couple of days. But yeah, so this right here is all you need to take care of. And the nice thing too is that this won't overuse your bone meal by keeping way too much in here. There are the occasional times, like when we were running into troubleshooting methods earlier, where you do have to just kind of reset the system. But once you get the system all up and running, it's all good. I do recommend keeping this in one chunk just to make sure there's no chunk loading issues. But you know, that's just up to you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It was alright to begin with, so you don't have to worry about it. It's just you needed to prime it. Because when there's no plant there, this is kind of when it gets triggered to just keep adding bone meal. It won't bone meal it, but it'll keep making that sound. So we have an automated way of producing slime seeds, or of all Pneumaticraft seeds, which are also nice because it's also passive, so you'll just always get some without doing anything, and that's all good. But really quick, let's say we wanted to have 2 stacks of slime plant seeds, not 158, 128. It'll start growing it again, and because of the way it runs through its loop, it won't overuse bone meal. So say it was on growth stage 11 before the automated trigger was triggered. What will happen is it will just apply a bone meal, and then we'll come into the code so you can see it. Every 3 seconds it runs through the condition to see if there's enough in here, and if there's not, it runs through the condition of if there's 2 slime plant seeds in the block gate. If it's not, that's when it does the bone meal. So it will only use enough bone meal to grow it to stage 3. Like I said, you could get away with 2 seconds, but I prefer to do 3 because you'll see right there how close the planting and the bone meal were together. If you do 2 seconds, your system can get locked up like we were seeing earlier. So 3 to 5 seconds is normally good. I like to do it in increments of 5, but for demonstration purposes, I wanted to show you what I believe the bare minimum time requirement is, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Sorry for thinking there was something wrong. That was just me derping on the fact that you need to prime the system. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, leave a comment, subscribe if you so choose. If you didn't like, tell me what you thought I could do better. If you have any other ideas for things you're trying to automate in Crash Landing and don't know how to do, or you're trying to automate something in want to try to automate something in you know, Crash Landing or any other mod pack using Steve's Factory Manager, I'm probably going to stick to Crash Landing requests only, but you know, we'll see. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial build. We've had our tutorial builds on our dirt, which works perfectly, and we have our one for bone meal and slime plant seeds, not bone meal, but plant seeds from Pneumaticraft. And earlier on, we did an automation for separating charcoal between multiple high ovens if you wanted to go that route, but you don't really have to. One high oven is more than enough, but that was just a way to automate putting stuff in the high oven. So until next time, this is Keller11. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.